Welcome, volleyball lovers, to Xavier University of Louisiana Volleyball. Today, the Gold Nuggets will be battling again against Paul Quinn as they defeated them last night 3-0. Both teams are now in the huddle as they get ready to start today's match. I am your commentator for this afternoon, Zora Thomas. Excited to see what Xavier Volleyball is able to bring out today. Last night, Xavier won in 3 sets. The score was 25-11 in the first set, 25-19 second, and they closed it out 25-22 in the third set. This will be their second game for the Red River Athletic Conference. They are coming in with a record now 4-4, handing another loss to Paul Quinn last evening. Now the Lady Tigers record is 3-2. Getting this game underway, we're now going to start calling the lineups for both teams. For Xavier, the starters are going to be Amani Mason, Kennedy Wade, Bengisu Kazizlar, Stella Dinova, Taylor Parker, and Kennedy Bell, with Rexandra Flourish coming in as libero. For Paul Quinn, your starters are Anaya Harrison, Tiaja Cooks, Brittany Brown-Reddick, Alea Lacroix, Michaela Johnson, and Kennedy Harris, with their libero Chloe Fields coming in. Last night, Xavier, very strong match, having 43 kills, Kennedy Wade being their leader with 11 kills, followed by Stella Dinova with 10, Sydney Murdy with 8 kills. They were also serving very strongly last night. Bengisu Kazizlar, very strong float serve. Paul Quinn having trouble receiving their serves last evening. Also, with last night's game, we had an attendance of 247 people in the stands. The energy was great. Having the cheerleaders as well on the sideline cheering them on. Great student section that evening. Getting ready, getting finished calling out the rest of the lineup. Ending with Kennedy Bell, 6'1" sophomore. Coaching staff for Xavier, Pat Kendrick, head coach, with assistant coaches Ryan Bowerman and Vivica Price-Spraggins. Paul Quinn's coaching staff for this afternoon is Patrick Gonzalez, who is head coach, and assistant coach Allie Phillips. Both teams now meeting at the net, giving each other high fives. Now both teams getting into their huddles as they figure out their game plans. Xavier trying to keep the same energy that they had yesterday, being extremely dominant in all 3 sets. In set 3, Paul Quinn came alive yesterday, tried to take the set, but Xavier was able to persevere mainly because of their strong service game, getting them to take the 3rd set. Xavier starting lineup on the floor. Down ref checking with Paul Quinn on their lineup. Captain's waving to the up ref. Chloe Fields now coming in, substituting. Xavier will be serving to open the match. Gisu Kazislar, setter. On the back line, getting ready. It's a freshman, 5'9" freshman from Turkey. See if Paul Quinn has an answer for her serve today. Popped up by Chloe Fields. Setter has to roll shotted. Out, first point going to Xavier. Strong serve. Chloe Fields can get it to her setter, causing her to scramble. Strong float serve again. Close, just have to dump it over. Going straight to the middle. Strong push. Kennedy Bell, first kill for her of the match. Xavier up 2-0. First set, 2-0. Xavier serving again. Going straight down the line. Ace for Kazislar. Xavier's sideline chanting too hot. Strong serve. Xavier had a number of aces yesterday. See if she can get another one. Paul Quinn able to keep it up. Bump set. Off the block. Double block for Xavier as it comes back down on Paul Quinn. Kennedy Bell and Stella Dinova. Touching the block. Score now 4-0. Xavier. Xavier serving again. Strong flow serve. Almost an ace, but Chloe Fields is able to run it down. Free balling it back over the net. Right to the libero. Tight pass. Almost running into the net. Paul Quinn. Right into the block. Strong double block again by Kennedy Bell. Stella Dinova. Score is now 5-0. Paul Quinn taking their first timeout. Score is now 5-0. The first set. Xavier trying to keep the momentum going, making sure they don't ice Kazazlar out on the serve with their timeout. And XULA meeting Paul Quinn in their series. XULA has won 4 times and 1 time here at XULA in their three most recent meetings. Kennedy Wade has actually been the top scorer for XULA each time Paul Quinn has played. Xavier up to serve again. Right over the net. Covering right to the outside. Strong float. Oh, net violation. Number 17, Michaela Johnson on Paul Quinn into the net, trying to block. Trying to get the block on number 4's Amani Mason. Score is now 6-0. Xavier in the lead. Kept up, going to the right side. Roll shotting. Back row. Just out. Kennedy Wade just missing that end line. First point going to Paul Quinn. Score is now 6-1. Anaya Harrison is now up to serve for Paul Quinn. High serve, kept up. Seladinova on the outside, going off the block. Everyone crossing on defense. Paul Quinn not able to keep it up. Kill for Seladinova. Score now 7-1. Monty Mason now up to serve for Xavier. Strong float. Going right over the net. Free balling it over. Short pass. Going right side. Touch off the block. Instant Xavier's block again. It's too heavy. Strong wall against Paul Quinn on the outside. Going straight to the middle. Just missing it out. Error on Kennedy Bell. Good rally for Paul Quinn, working on the defense to keep it up. Substitutions coming in. Number 5's Elise McDaniel coming in to serve for Paul Quinn. And up at the net, Alea Lacroix coming in. Pass by Amani Mason. Kazazlar going to outside of Kenny Wade. Going cross court. Another net violation by Paul Quinn. Kill for Kennedy Wade. Score now 8-2. XULA in the lead. Alexandra Florash. Coming from Chieri, Italy. Up to serve. Tight set. Right off the block. Number 17, Michaela Johnson with the kill, using Xavier's block against them. Get the point, 8-3. Michaela Johnson coming off the floor for number 7, Kristen Williams, as she's coming up to serve. Right to Kennedy Wade. Taylor Parker with the kill. Right off the block, going straight down the net. Seladinova now up to serve for Xavier. The score is 9-3. Trying to do the slide. Had to tip it over. Going back row again to Amani Mason. Tips it right to Chloe Fields. Using Xavier's block. Kennedy Harris. Almost a miscommunication. Xavier trying to run a play at the back row. Seladinova still able to get the kill. 10-3. Seladinova up to serve. Kept up by Paul Quinn, going outside. Able to use the block. Knowing Kazazlar is the shorter blocker, using her hands. Paul Quinn with the kill. 10-4. 2 substitutions. Sydney Murray, Charity Metcalf coming in. Number 18, Kennedy Harris on Paul Quinn, up to serve. Right to Taylor Parker, tipping it over. Paul Quinn able to keep it up. Rolling it over. Flourish able to keep it up. Going right side to Kennedy Wade. Capped up by Chloe Fields. Setter dump. Flores try to pick it up with one arm. Great awareness, knowing that the middle was open. By Tasia Cooks. Kennedy Harris up to serve again. Going right to Flourish. Sydney going down the line to push. Off the tape. Kept up. Couldn't get there. Hustle by Monty Mason trying to get to that end line. This is going down the line. Killed by Paul Quinn. Score is now 10-6. Kennedy Harris up to serve again. Tip out. Kill error by Kennedy Wade. Xavier taking their first timeout. Paul Quinn steadily coming back, 10-3. Some of Xavier's errors. Also getting some great shots down the line, finding that holes in Xavier's defense. Tasia Cooks had a great dump, setting it over the net, as well as Paul Quinn hitting it down the line. Xavier's defense being open. Also, for your up and down refs, Chris Laird is your up ref, while Lynn Roberts is your down for this match. Coach Pat Kendrick trying to get the team back together, trying to get them to make less errors, keep the lead. Yesterday's match, the first set, won 25-11. Paul Quinn trying to make a statement today. Trying to play harder. Keeps Xavier on their toes. Paul Quinn now coming back onto the floor. Kennedy Harris is up to serve. Score is now 10-7. Slow serve. Going outside, Kennedy Wade. Down the line. Right past the block. Kill for Kennedy Wade. Point Xavier. Score is now 11-7. Kennedy Wade is now up to serve. Strong serve. Right to Kennedy Harris. Have to free ball it over. Too strong. Right to the middle. Blocked by Paul Quinn. Right back to Xavier's side by Layla Kwa. Trying to go outside into Xavier's block. Calling a lift. Anaya Harrison trying to make her case. Tried to bump it up with her wrist. Up ref calling lift. Ball handling error. Kennedy Wade up to serve again. Score is 12-7. Tasia Cooks going to the right side. Number 8, Alea Lacroix, coming in with the kill. She gets subbed out. Great block earlier. Covering, watching the middle on Xavier's side. Chloe Fields now up to serve. Score 12-8. Tight. Very tight pass. Charity Metcalf able to make it work. Kill for Taylor Parker. 2 subs in. Kennedy Bell and Maddie Meyer coming in to serve for Xavier. Meyer on the end line. Scores 13-8. Xavier. High pass. Right in the middle. Tip. Going back row to Kennedy Wade. Chloe Fields able to keep it up. Free ball over. Back to the middle. Number 3, Elise. Oh, my mistake. Brittany Brown-Riddick there with the block for Paul Quinn. Xavier subbing. Score is 13-9. Paul Quinn. Tasia Cooks up to serve. Going outside. Block, but kept up by Xavier. Pushed over. Kennedy Bell. Error calling a double. She tried to push it over. Couldn't get her hands there. It's kind of low. Tried to push it from her chest. Score is now 13-10. Xavier. Tasia Cooks coming up to serve again. Right to Kennedy Wade. High pass. Tie for Charity Metcalf. Block is there again for Brittany Brown Riddick. Commit blocking. Watching her middle, tracking her. Score is now 13-11. Sub coming in for Xavier. Number 15, Kendall Mack. Coming in for Kennedy Bell. Tasia Cooks. Coming to serve. Outside, Damani Mason trying to push it down to the back corner. Right side, cross, court. Tied over the net. Paul Quinn almost had the opportunity to dump it. Block is trying to get there. Couldn't get there in time. Chloe Fields covering. Score is now 14-11. Xavier. 2 substitutions for Xavier. Stella Dinova. Bengisu Kazazlar coming in for Sydney Murray. Charity Metcalf. Strongstow kept up. Pass it. Right to right side. Right on the line. Stella Dinova with a high contact. Score is now 15-11 to Xavier. Strong serve. Missed it wide. Service error for Kazazlar. It's Paul Quinn trying to close the gap, staying close within Xavier's margins. Score now 15-12. Paul Quinn making their substitutions. Number 1, Anaya Harrison coming in for Aaliyah Vines. As Anaya Harrison is coming up to serve for Paul Quinn. Trying to serve short. Steladinova wide. Called in by the line ref. Paul Quinn thought it was out, just made it in the line. Point for Xavier. Score is now 16-12. Monty Mason now up to serve. Chloe Fields is able to keep it up. Straight to the outside for Paul Quinn. Alexandra Flores able to keep it up. Kennedy Wade off the block. Paul Quinn going right side. Seladinova down the line, right in that back corner. Another kill for her. Score is now 17-12, point Xavier. Monty Mason up to serve again. Just out. Score is now 17-13. Xavier up. Paul Quinn subbing. Number 5, Elise McDaniel coming in for number 3, Brittany Brown Reddick. Number 5, Elise McDaniel coming in to serve. Wrong serve. Libero had to go to the ground, pick that ball up. Paul Quinn talking. Push off the block. Oh, everyone trying to get the ball up, diving to the floor. Point for Paul Quinn. Score is now 17-14. Elise McDaniel. Right to Libero. Strong serve. Strong swing. Kennedy Wade. Xavier fighting to keep that ball up. Kennedy Wade coming right on top of the ball as it was spinning. Kazazlar do a bump set. The ball had a lot of spin, but Kennedy Wade was able to get on top of it. Florosh is on the end line to serve for Xavier. Score is 18-14. Kept up. Have to go right side. Swing, touch off the block. Going outside. Chloe Fields trying to hold her platform. Paul Quinn coaching staff probably wanted a double call in the set. Flourish serving again. Scores 19-14. Taking it. Kennedy Wade again. Kept it by Paul Quinn. High pass. Tip off the block. Kennedy Wade able to cover it. She comes down. Swings it just long. Steladinova hitting her for her. Point for Paul Quinn. Score is now 19-15. Xavier still in the lead. As number 7, Kristen Williams, is now coming up to serve. Just out the line. Kennedy Wade following it to the line. Making sure she doesn't get hit with the ball. Score is now 20-15. Steladinova in the back line to serve. Paul Quinn tipping. Kazazlar hitting it. Paul Quinn able to keep it up. Block again. Taylor Parker. Gisu Kazazlar. Both of them keeping a tight block. Score is 21-15. Dinova serve again. Going outside. Hitting right into Kazazlar block. They have been shutting down that outside. Very strong double block for Xavier. Score is now 22-15 this first set. Timeout. Winding down. Score is 25-15. Steladinova on the back line for Xavier. Coming up to serve. Passing on the floor. Tip by Kennedy Harris. Violation by Xavier. Point for Paul Quinn. His score is now 22-16. Kill for Kennedy Harris. Trying to get past that Xavier double block. Now back to serve. Jerry Metcalf setting right side. Kennedy Wade. Point Xavier. Score is now 23-16. Kennedy Wade to serve. Chloe Fields going to the outside. To Nia Harrison rolling into the court. Charity Metcalf going to her middle. Taylor Parker kill. Very strong swing by Taylor Parker. The middle blocker, 6'2" freshman coming from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charity Metcalf. Dig to keep it up. Sydney Murray. Charity Metcalf covering off the block. Monty Mason swinging high. Going back to Nia Harrison. Roll shot. Right to libero. Xavier going back row. Kennedy Wade. Chloe Fields right there to keep it back up, though. Tight set. Xavier has to free ball it over. Right side. Chloe Fields still keeping it up. Wow. Deja Cooks tried to dump it over the net. It was match point. Hits it right into the tape as Xavier wins this set, 25-16. Pulling away from Paul Quinn as they tried to close the gap. Kennedy Wade and Stella Dinova for this set both had 5 kills, following with Taylor Parker, who had 3. Then for Paul Quinn, Alea Lacroix, and Kennedy Harris both have 2 kills apiece as they were finishing out the first set. Xavier and Paul Quinn now coming back to the court. Longer time. Starting the second set. Starting Kennedy Wade, Stella Dinova, floor. Number 1, Paris Gilmore, Sydney Murray, Rujandra Flores, and Bengisu Kazizlar in the lineup for Xavier. Number 3, Brittany Brown-Riddick. Number 17, Michaela Johnson. Kennedy Harris. Number 1, Anaya Harrison going back to serve with number 2, Tasia Cooks, and number 12, Chloe Fields to start the second set. Anaya Harrison with the serve. Going straight to the outside. Kennedy Wade. Kill for Kennedy Wade as she hits through the block. First point going to Xavier. Score is 1-0. Going to the second set. Alexandra Flores coming in to serve. Chloe Fields with the pass. Going to the right side. Kept up off the block. Tip by Kennedy Harris. Going right side to Steladinova. Tried to put a nice little soft touch to it, but too soft as it doesn't cross over the tape. Trying to place it right behind Paul Quinn's block. Slight miscalculation. Elise McDaniel coming back to serve for Paul Quinn. Score is 1-1. Kennedy Wade going cross. Elise McDaniel able to pick it up. Kennedy Harris with the roll, causing Xavier to scramble, but Kennedy Wade going cross court. Zone 5, right on that line. Kill for Kennedy Wade. Score is now 2-1 for Xavier. Steladinova coming back to serve now. Right on the line. Anaya Harrison trying to get there. Wasn't sure if it was in or out. Was going to use one arm. Ace for Steladinova. Score is now 3-1 Xavier. Strong serve. Going over the tape. Kazislar. There to put a nice push back on Paul Quinn's court. Score is now 4-1 for Xavier. Steladinova going back down the line to Kennedy Harris. High pass. Chloe Fields free balling over the net. Going straight to the middle. Kept over. Sydney Murray coming out the back row. Touch off the block. Going outside. Tipping behind the block again. Going back row. Off the tape. Chloe Fields just getting under the ball but not able to keep it up. Kill for Steladinova coming out the back row. Score is now 5-1. Just out. Missing the back line. Score now 5-2. Substitution for Paul Quinn. Number 7, Kristen Williams coming in. 2 substitutions on Xavier's side. Alyssa Studvent coming in, and Charity Metcalf. Right to Kennedy Wade. Going right side to Kennedy Wade. Out, swinging just long. Point for Paul Quinn. Score is now 5-3. Kristen Williams now serving again. Pass by Sydney Murray. Scrambling, have to pass it over Alyssa Studvent. Tip, right there covering. Strong single block by Kendall Mack. Kendall Mack covering. Committing 2 hands. Very strong as she pushed it right back down to Paul Quinn's side. Kennedy Wade now up to serve. Strong float serve for Kennedy Wade. Roll shot. Kennedy Harris going back to outside for Sydney Murray. Going cross court but kept up. Kristen Williams tried to get under the ball. Kill for Sydney Murray. Point Xavier. Score is now 7-3 with Kennedy Wade back to serve again. A serve. Kennedy Wade. Score is now 8-3, and with that, Paul Quinn takes a timeout. Xavier leading right now with the score 8-3. Kennedy Wade gets the ace. Paul Quinn and Xavier back on the court. Kennedy Wade on the back line to serve. Kept in. Step out the block. Kendall Mack. Right there. But Kennedy Harris is able to swing right through Xavier's block. Kennedy Harris now back to serve for Paul Quinn. Substitution, the number 11, Aaliyah Vines now coming in for Paul Quinn. Score is now 8-4. Xavier in the lead. Sydney Murray with the pass. Jerry Metcalf. Kennedy Bell. Right in. Just right in front of that end line. Kill for Kendall Mack. Substitution as number 1, Paris Gilmore is coming in. And Maddie Meyer for Xavier. Score is now 9-4. Short serve for Maddie Meyer. That was her signature against Paul Quinn last night. Worked very effectively. Paul Quinn's Xavier there on the block. Short serve again. Paul Quinn scrambling. Roll shot over by Layla Qua. Kept up. Free balled it over. Going to the middle. Kendall Mack. Still kept in, going outside. Down the line. Jerry Metcalf trying to cover down the line. Went right over her hands. Paul Quinn for the point. Score is now 10-5 for Xavier. Serve by Chloe Fields. High. Very high serve. Paul Quinn wanted the call for the ball to be in. Line judge calls it out. Point for Xavier. Score is now 11-5. Xavier in the lead. Kazazlar on the back line to serve. High pass. Middle. Coming around. Tiaja Cooks. Number 3, Brittany Brown Reddick. Coming around Tiaja Cooks to swing. That back right line. Zone 5. Back corner. Point. Paul Quinn. Score is now 11-6. Tiaja Cooks going back to serve. Sydney Murray. Stella Dinova. Called into the net. Set was kind of tight as she tried to reach high enough to make contact with the ball. Point for Paul Quinn. Score is now 11-7. Tiaja Cooks back to serve again. Florosh aced. Tiaja Cooks with the ace. Xavier 11-8. Tiaja Cooks trying to close the block. Trying to close the gap. 3-point difference. High pass. Kazazlar having to run, set it. Strong swing. Paul Quinn trying to roll it out the back row. Middle. Paris Gilmore. 5'11", middle blocker, freshman, coming out of Houston, Texas. Another kill for her. Going to outside Kennedy Wade. Down the line, kept up. Another kill. Point Xavier. Scores now 13-8. Xavier's in the lead. Served by Sydney Murray. Just long. Paul Quinn calling it out. Substitution for Paul Quinn as number 1, Anaya Harrison, is coming in. She will serve on the end line. Paul Quinn just down 4 points. Score 13-9. Outside. Down the line. Strong kill by Kennedy Wade. Such a powerful swing coming past the block. Kendall Mack substituting. Serve by Flores. Xavier trying to keep the ball up. Hit back over by number 17, Michaela Johnson. Point for Paul Quinn. Hit it back over the net. Score is now 14-10. Paul Quinn serving. Ace. For Paul Quinn. Elise McDaniel with the serve. Score is now 14-11. Going Saladinova just long with that end line. Score is now 14-12. Paul Quinn trying to close the gap. Just 2 points. Serve. Back row. Alea Lacroix trying to make the single block on the net. They're coming out the back row. Came right through her block. Point for Xavier. Steladinova now coming back to serve for Xavier. Score is 15-12. In the second set of the match. Miscommunication with Paul Quinn. Chloe Fields trying to call it off to take that second ball. Point is now 16-12. Xavier in the lead. Strong serve. Kept out by Anaya Harrison. Roll. Right on that 10-foot line in the corner. Kill for Paul Quinn. Xavier making their substitutions. Charity Metcalf in, as well as Alyssa Studvent. Score is 16-13. With number 7's Kristen Williams serving for Paul Quinn. Right side, just out. Kennedy Wade trying to go on taking the angle. Hitting error for her as the score is now 16-14. Xavier in the lead. High pass, going to right side again. Roll shot. Paul Quinn trying to chase it down, pushing the ball over. Middle. Off the block, Chloe Fields able to keep it up. Deja Cooks chasing it down. Up at the net, challenging it. Charity Metcalf tried to kick it up with her foot. Able to get it off the ground, but Xavier couldn't convert the points. Paul Quinn covering on all areas. It's number 7, Kristen Williams, trying to see if she can close the gap on her serve. Score is now 16-15. Xavier up by 1. Just out. Just missing. Score is now 17-15 in the second set. Xavier up. Kennedy Wade goes to the back line for Xavier. Kennedy Harris rolling it over, going right side, Sydney Murray. Anaya Harrison hesitating. Swing, hit off the arm, kill for Sydney Murray. Score is now 18-15, Xavier in the lead. Alea Lacroix having to pass it over. Passes it just out. Flourish watching it as it following the ball to the line. Great watch on her. The ball is coming really high. Kennedy Wade with another serve. Kennedy Harris tipping it. Kennedy Harris able to keep it up. Sydney Murray with the swing, trying to call the touch. None of the refs saw one, so we'll call that a hitting error. Sydney Murray. Point for Paul Quinn. Score is now 19-16. Kennedy Harris back on the line to serve. Kendall Mack. The tip. Right off the side of the block. Kill for her. Score is now 20-16. Maddie Meyer will now be serving for Xavier. Probably going to go on the short serve. It's been working for her. Almost right past the 10-foot line. Leia Lacroix pushing the ball. Xavier called again into the net with a net violation, trying to block. Score is 20-17. Xavier in the lead. Chloe Fields is now back to serve for Paul Quinn. Outside, Sydney Murray. Off the block. Ricocheting, actually hitting Chloe Fields. Point Xavier. Strong swing. Score is now 21-17. Kazazlar now back to serve for Xavier. 4 points till they take the second set. Chloe Fields running the ball down. Just hitting the tape as Kristen Williams tried to get it back over. Strong serve for Kazazlar. As Kennedy Harris is ball handling. Error. Powerful serve. Xavier serving again. Outside. Leah Vines hitting through the block of Xavier. Trickles down the net. Score is now 22-18. Substitution in as Michaela Johnson is coming in for Kristen Williams. Setter Tiaja Cooks from Austin, Texas is serving. Xavier called out of rotation. Score is now 22-19. Paul Quinn was called out of rotation one time yesterday. Xavier now getting one call today. Score is 22-19. Tasia Cooks. Kazazlar trying to follow the ball. Having to free ball it over. Let's see if Paul Quinn can convert. Tipping it over. Sydney Murray. Trying to cover it as she goes cross, taking the angle. Chloe Fields try to follow behind Aaliyah Vines. Sydney Murray will now serve after just getting the kill. Score is now 23-19, 2 points. Just serving it out. Score is now 23-20. Score is now 23-20. As Paul Quinn is going back on the line to serve. High serve. Paris Gilmore with the swing. Kill for Paris Gilmore. Point for Xavier. Some miscommunication. Thought the set was over. Set point for Xavier. Flourish. Serving for Xavier. 24-20. Going to the outside. Swing. Flourish able to keep it up. Going right back over the net. Going right side. Swing. Right. in. Sydney Murray watching it as it hit the line. Thought it went wide. Killed by Paul Quinn. Number 5, Elise McDaniel coming to serve for Paul Quinn. Second set point for Xavier. Over the net, but Flourish is able to keep it up as they try to swing it back down. Sydney Murray passing it back over the net, tight. Just missing it. Great up by Flourish as she was watching it. Saved them another chance. Saved them, helped them to get that set point. Able to win the set, 25-21. In the set, Kennedy Wade is leading in kills. 9 kills for her, as Sydney Murray and Stella Dinova both have 6 apiece, followed by the middles, Taylor Parker and Paris Gilmore having 3 kills to their names as well. Paul Quinn, Alea Lacroix, and Kennedy Harris both having 4 kills to their name. Xavier trying to make sure that playing just as well as they did yesterday as we go into this third set, trying to see if they can close it out the same way they did yesterday. Xavier and Paul Quinn now coming back onto the court as they start the third set. Trying to see if they can close it out for this match. Bingisu Kazazlar going to be serving for Xavier. She's waiting on the back line. Paul Quinn making their substitutions. Trying to keep their energy up as they're trying to go into this third set. Flourish coming in for Taylor Parker.
Xavier's Bengisu Kazazlar will serve to begin the third set.
Kazazlar on the back line to serve for Xavier. Kick off the third set. Float serve. Pushing. Miscommunication, almost missing it. Paul Quinn now trying to scramble. Calling a lift on the pass as it was coming off the tape. First point going to Xavier.
Point Xavier. Point XULA.
Kazazlar now up to serve again for Xavier. Strong serve. Ace serve for Kazazlar.
Kazazlar. Point Xavier.
Score is now 2-0. Score is now 2-0 going to third set. Strong float serve. Missing it wide. Paul Quinn get their first point. Score is now 2-1. Nia Harrison serving for Paul Quinn. Going to right side, Sydney Murray. Touch off the block for Paul Quinn. Trying to go right side. Going back row. Kennedy Wade with the kill. Goes right between two defenders. And Paul Quinn, Sydney Murray. Now going back to serve. Sydney Murray with the float. Chloe Fields on the ground. Error. Error on Paul Quinn, trying to get the ball over. Score is now 4-1. Xavier in the lead. Sydney Murray serving again. Just out. Just missing the line. Number 5, Elise McDaniel now serving for Paul Quinn. Score is now 4-2. Just clipped the tape. Kazazlar was running to the net. Didn't see it as it clipped it right behind her. Point for Paul Quinn. His score is now 4-3. Elise McDaniel serving again. Kenny Wade off the tape, trying to swing down the line. Roll shot. Block by Paul Quinn, by Alea Lacroix. 4-4. Now tied up. Correction. Replay. Sydney Murray was tying her shoe. Tried to call it down, ref explained had to wait before she was able to serve it over the net. Replay on the point. Tied up 4-4. Elise McDaniel getting a second chance to get that serve over. Crosses the net. Kenny Wade. Block. Strong double block by Paul Quinn on Kennedy Wade. Number 17, Michaela Johnson and Alea Lacroix blocking Kennedy Wade. Clipping the tape again. Flourish diving to the floor. Paul Quinn scrambling, miscommunication. Off the block. Paul Quinn trying to keep it up. Swinging with one hand, free balling it over. Right side. Off the block. Tasia Cooks tried to follow it. Just couldn't get there. Point for Xavier's, and now the score is 5-5. Alexandra Flourish serving for Xavier. Tight. Tiaja Cook trying to make a run. Pushed right back over by Taylor Parker. Oh, net violation. Coming in too strong. Point for Paul Quinn. Substitution. Kristen Williams now serving for Paul Quinn. Just missing it. Kennedy Harris with the kill for Paul Quinn in. Flores throwing herself, trying to get the ball. Paul Quinn now leading, 7-5. Swing. Paul Quinn wants the touch, and they get it. Point for Paul Quinn is now the score is 8-5. Almost what happened yesterday. Paul Quinn coming alive in the third set, battling it out with Xavier. Xavier starting to make more mistakes. Paul Quinn being able to capitalize. Going right side on the slide. Seladinova passes it up high. Kennedy Wade, block is there for Paul Quinn. Going back to the right side. Point. Double has been called on Xavier. Xavier taking another timeout. Paul Quinn now cheering. Coming alive in this set as they lead now 9-5. One of the largest leads they've had since even their matchup yesterday. Paul Quinn trying to run away with the set. Trying to push themselves. End of the timeout. Paul Quinn back to serve, leading 9-5. Right side. Paul Quinn trying to get there on the block, able to keep it up. Kristen Williams free balling it over, a high pass. Outside. Off the tape. Off the hands of Paul Quinn's block. Kill for Kennedy Wade. She gets the point. Point Xavier. Score is now 9-6. Steladinova coming back. Tip. Point for Xavier. Kennedy Wade. Score is now 9-7. Xavier trying to snap back. Play like they were the first two sets. 4 touches. Paul Quinn didn't know where the ball was. Bounced off the head of one of the players. Steladinova served it right over the net. Clip the tape. Ace for Steladinova. Score is now 8-9. A little bit of sweat on the floor, trying to wipe it up. A little bit of a delay. Trying to make sure that the floor is nice and dry. Everybody slipping, trying to dive onto the floor. Our announcer, Ed Cassier, doing the Jeopardy music as we're waiting. Seladinova with the good serve. Slide. Lacroix hitting it to the net, trying to take the angle. Xavier now tying it back up. Score is now 9-9. Strong serve. Going right side again. Lacroix able to get it over this time. Teledinova coming out the back row. Paul Quinn on defense. Tip over. Slide again. Lift called by Taylor Parker, pushing the ball from behind her. Point for Paul Quinn. Taking the lead again as the score is now 10-9. Kennedy Harris now back to serve for Paul Quinn. Set to the outside, in for Kennedy Wade. Kill for her. Score is now 10-10. Xavier and Paul Quinn tied up right now in the third set. Kennedy Wade now back to serve. Paul Quinn keeping it up. Tasia Cooks having to run ball down. Trading Metcalf, laying out. Paul Quinn right there on defense. Point for Paul Quinn. Xavier in the net, trying to block and get there. Pressing into the net. Chloe Fields serving. Score is 11-10. Paul Quinn in the lead. Sydney Murray tipping off the block. Getting a touch off the block. Getting Xavier to tie it up again. Score now 11-11. Olivia Jackson coming in. The freshman from Homewood, Alabama. Serves it just out. Taylor Parker coming back in. Tasia Cooks serving for Paul Quinn as they're in the lead now, 12-11. Right side to Alyssa Studvent. Right in that back corner. Great back corner for Alyssa Studvent. Point Xavier as they tie it back up again, 12-12. They're going point for point right now between Xavier and Paul Quinn. Kazaslar now serving for Xavier again. Substitutions. Clipping the tape, ace for Kazaslar. Xavier saying too hot on the sideline. Kazaslar very strong serving these last two matches. I believe she's had at least one ace in each set she's played. Another ace. Xavier now taking the lead, 14-12. Paul Quinn readjusting their serve receive. Two passers right now. Right to the tape. Point for Paul Quinn. Difference now to 1. Xavier still in the lead though. 14 points when Paul Quinn has 13. Paul Quinn serving. Short serve. Going out. Trying to keep the ball in. Trying to fight it at the tape. Kendall Mack is able to hit it over. Kill for Kendall Mack. Score is now 15-13. Sydney Murray serving. Chloe Fields. Ball handling error. Sanaya Harrison is trying to run it down. Score is 16-13. Xavier in the lead. Paul Quinn Slowly starting to slip away. Paul Quinn as they call the timeout. Both teams now back on the court. Sydney Murray on the back line for Xavier serving. Score is now 16-13. Paul Quinn trying to get their serve receive. Pass going to the right side. Off the block. Kill for number 17, Michaela Johnson. On the right side. Serving for Paul Quinn, Elise McDaniel. Xavier wiping up their floor, diving. Score is now 16-14. Xavier still in the lead. Elise McDaniel with the serve. In, tie pass, dumped right back over by Layla Qua. Waiting. Push it right back down. Paul Quinn within one. Score is now 16-15. Right side. Steladinova hitting it out, just missing that line. Tied up again. Score is now 16-16. Elise McDaniel serving for Paul Quinn. Strong flow serve. Going to the outside. Kennedy Wade. Kill for Kennedy Wade as she comes right in between that block. Hitting the cross shot. Point for Xavier. Alexandra Flores now serving for Xavier. Score is now 17-16. Paul Quinn able to keep it up. Kennedy Harris roll shotting. Coming out the back row, Sydney Murray. Chloe Fields. Push over the net. Tasia Cooks trying to backpedal, making sure she didn't hit the net. Xavier chasing it down. Roll shot again. Kenny Wade rolling it herself, but Chloe Fields is right there. Tasia Cooks. Swing. Kept right back over by Xavier. Another strong swing. Great rally right now. Tip. Trying to keep it up. Falling to the floor. Point for Xavier. Calling a lift. Calling a lift. As Kennedy Harris was trying to chase the ball down, but she popped it up with her wrist. The score is now 18-16. Flourish to serve. Outside. Tight. Going to right side. Tipping over the block. Right side. Tasia Cooks. Steladinova getting the kill. Point for Xavier. Score is now 19-16. Xavier trying to pull away. Flourish with the serve. Tasia Cooks going outside. Off the block. Point for Xavier, saying it was 4 touches, saying she hit into the tape.
Point, Xavier.
Timeout for Paul Quinn. The
Timeout.
score is now
Paul
20 to
Quinn.
16. Flores now serving for Xavier. Score is 20 to 16 as they try to close for the match. Hitting down the line, kept up. Kill for number 17, Michaela Johnson.
Point, Paul
Point for
Quinn.
Paul Quinn. Score is now 20 to 17.
She is serving.
Having to wipe up the floor again. Xavier wiping up the floor. Kristen Williams waiting to serve for Paul Quinn. Middle, Taylor Parker tipping it over right past Paul Quinn's defense. Score is now 21 to 17. Stella Dinova now back to serve. Service ace for Stella Dinova. Stella Dinova has 8 kills in this match, hitting at a percentage of 143. Serve just goes wide. Paul Quinn and Xavier making their substitutions. Charity Metcalf and Alyssa Studvent coming in for Xavier. It's number 11, Aaliyah Vines on Paul Quinn coming in. Kennedy Harris is now serving for Paul Quinn. Score is 22 to 18. Deep serve. Going to the outside of Kennedy Wade. Off the block. Leah Vines able to keep it up. Going back to Leah Vines. Trying to hit it right into the block. Alyssa Studvent is right there with the roof. 2 points. This match is over. Kennedy Wade now to serve. Scores 23 to 18. Right to Kennedy Harris. Going to right side to Layla Qua. Hits it just wide. Making it match point for Xavier. Score is 24 to 18. Kennedy Wade trying to serve out the match. Going right to Kennedy Harris. Tasia Cooks. Net violation. Close out the match. Xavier wins it 3-0. Defeating Paul Quinn 2 days in a row. As now their record is going to be 2-0 in the Red River Athletic Conference. Their record now going to be 5-4 overall. Paul Quinn going to be 3-3 overall. for the second straight years, we're kind of going into the season. Xavier's going to be hosting the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament. Dates will be November 10th and 11th at the Convocation Center, so keep looking out for Xavier's home games. Thank you, everyone, for watching this stream. Go to XULA Gold, XULAGold.com to get any stats as well as the live stream for any coming home games. Have a good day.